it has to be like a small mountain. Like it's a mountain. Like there's trees like way up there, and like look, we're going up, and those trees are still way up there.
Well, when does a hill become a mountain?
Like no, like seriously, right?
I don't think there's a mountain in South Central Indiana.
I think it's a big mountain. I think it's just like a baby mountain.
Well, I was born in a small town.
Indeed he was. And with those nostalgic lyrics, John Mellencamp set the scene for one of the most memorable rock anthems of the 1980s. But Mellencamp wasn't singing about some mythical location. He was singing about his own small town. This small town. The town of Seymour, Indiana. And upon visiting Seymour today, you are visiting a town that is very similar to the way it was when Mellencamp called it home. The first stop on your Mellencamp tour should be the Jackson County Visitor Center, located in the former Southern Indiana Railroad Freight House. The center contains multiple exhibits about the history of Seymour, including an exhibit discussing Mellencamp's roots in the town. It's also where you can pick up your copy of The Roots of an American Rocker, an audio tour that takes you throughout Seymour to some notable Mellencamp locations, including his childhood home and his schools. Many of the buildings throughout the town look identical to the way they did in the 1985 music video, like the funeral home, the Seymour Public Library, and the Roxy Roller Rink, which is now closed but was owned for many years by Mellencamp's grandfather. Even if you didn't know Mellencamp was from Seymour, it's hard to miss his presence. Next to the newly completed Mellencamp Plaza is a 35-foot-tall mural of the Seymour native. Completed in 2019, it towers over downtown Seymour on the side of the This Old Guitar music store. The mural received Mellencamp's blessing when he returned to Seymour in October 2019 to sign his initials on the acoustic guitar, without any C's. Mellencamp donated $50,000 toward the creation of the plaza adjacent to the mural. The This Old Guitar music store is a popular stop for Mellencamp fans, known collectively as Melonheads. The walls are filled with Mellencamp photographs and autographed memorabilia. Seymour's original Mellencamp tribute is located in front of the town's Chamber of Commerce. The parking meter is an homage to the adolescent Mellencamp and his friends loitering against parking meters in downtown Seymour, waiting for something of note to happen. A couple blocks away on Chestnut Street is Larison's Diner, a well-known Seymour eatery. Mellencamp's been known to dine here, usually ordering a cheeseburger. Larison's serves up delicious food, along with the charm and friendly service you would expect from a small-town, family-owned diner. Governor's Corner is another place known to get an occasional visit from Mellencamp. This tiny sweet shop serves up scrumptious ice cream and milkshakes.
Wherever you go, you can't go wrong with a Reese's Cup milkshake. Now, if only I wasn't lactose intolerant.
Then there's Seymour's independent music store, 13th floor. There's no direct connection to Mellencamp here, but they sell vinyl, so I had to visit. They have a section dedicated solely to Mellencamp's records.
The last time I was here, I went to the record store and I saw this record. This is John's 2010 release. And at the time, it was his most recent album. But I wasn't very financially well off at that time. Those of you who are regular viewers of my channel know exactly who I was working for then. But I came back today, and this was the first record I saw in the Mellencamp section. So, it was meant to be.
On the north side of Seymour is the Southern Indiana Center for the Arts. The two-story mansion is owned by Mellencamp and leased to the city for $1 a year. Since the 1990s, Mellencamp has channeled much of his creativity into paintings, reflecting many of the same forlorn themes that are present in his music. The artwork for his most recent albums have been his own paintings. Throughout Seymour, there are locations that the casual Mellencamp fan might miss. Mellencamp's first album, a massive flop released under the assigned name Johnny Cougar, was called Chestnut Street Incident, a reference to downtown Seymour's main street. The opening lyrics to his 1987 hit Cherry Bomb reference an 8-room farmhouse on the outskirts of town. That's this house, located north of Seymour, near the Rockford Ridge Drive-In. The name Cherry Bomb is a pseudonym for Last Exit, a former gathering place for young people in the basement of the First Presbyterian Church, and where the music video for ROCK in the USA was filmed. The long-abandoned James Shields Memorial Gymnasium was the setting for his 1993 Human Wheels music video. There are also many locations throughout town that were featured in Mellencamp's under-the-radar 1992 film, Falling from Grace. Seymour isn't the only Indiana town that has a connection to Mellencamp. Several other southern Indiana small towns have found their way into the Heartland Rockers musical catalog. Unincorporated Dudleytown was one of the inspirations for the song Rain on the Scarecrow. At the main intersection of unincorporated Uniontown is the site of a now demolished filling station where Mellencamp shot the end of the video for Pink Houses. The house shown at the beginning of Pink Houses is located in the town of Austin. The Hurts So Good video was shot entirely in the small town of Medora. And a couple times in his career, he has mentioned cities that are close to my heart.
I worked my whole life in the steel mills near Gary. I was brought up in East Chicago, and I grew up on the States.
Listening to Mellencamp's music while driving through the farmlands and many small towns of south central Indiana can be a spiritual experience. The lives seen around these country roads and farm fields personify the so small town life that Mellencamp has described and people he has championed in his music for over 4 decades. Mellencamp currently resides about an hour from Seymour in Bloomington, which was also featured in the Small Town video, and where he filmed the I'm Not Running Anymore video in 1998. Mellencamp has never been a fan of the big city life, and says he will always call Indiana home. Mellencamp's recording studio, Belmont Mall, is located in the unincorporated town of Belmont, about halfway between Bloomington and Seymour, nestled in the woods of Brown County. This remote building has been the setting for every Mellencamp album since 1985's Scarecrow. Small Town itself was recorded here on April 17th, 1985. The setting of the area contributes to the feel and message of Mellencamp's music. As the late George Green wrote on the liner notes for Scarecrow, the highway between John's house and the studio where these songs were recorded cuts through a stretch of Indiana where the land is fertile and full of growth. It is from this land and its people that these songs are born. And though it is not necessary to know this to enjoy and appreciate them, it does lend a certain understanding for those who care to think about such things. On this particular day, Mellencamp and his band were recording tracks for the singer's upcoming 24th studio album. While Seymour generally seems proud of Mellencamp's success, there are mixed feelings about him throughout his home state. He is often characterized as ornery, unfriendly, and even a red ass. Yet he has often worn that perception as a badge of honor. Mellencamp has also never been shy about raising controversial issues in his songs, such as U.S. foreign policy or racism, like in 2018's Easy Target. In the ultra-red state of Indiana, such politics are usually not looked upon favorably. As someone who has lived their entire life in Indiana, it can sometimes be difficult to be proud of what the state does. But being from the same state as John Mellencamp is something I am definitely proud of. 45 years after his first album release, Mellencamp's grovelly voice is one of the most well-known in Heartland rock. And, in my opinion, his songs have only gotten better as they have received less commercial recognition. He is a co-founder and continuing supporter of Farm Aid. He has sold over 30 million albums in the United States, with 22 top 40 songs, 10 top 10s, 1 Grammy win, and 13 total nominations, an induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it all began in this small town.